All right, hello everybody. Welcome to Fox Talks. I'm gonna try my best not to have like a wardrobe malfunction here, but I really like the way the shirt's cut. I think it's pretty cool. It helps keep me cool, especially when I'm in the gym or something. But I felt like it would be. I don't know why I thought this would be an appropriate shirt to wear today, but I love it, and I don't get to wear it often enough. And if anyone has any suggestions on like a fabric that I can put behind this that'll help keep it from like instantly rolling up or rolling up throughout the day, or maybe someplace I can get nipple tape. Yeah, that'd be cool. But none of that is really the topic of today's video. It was just warm in here, and I had to take off my jacket that I was wearing in the earlier video. Didn't feel like changing shirts, so I wanted to get that out of the way first. So I ended up continuing the discussion that I was having with the gentleman that I was speaking to earlier. It took him a little while to reply. The video was almost done exporting. I didn't even start replying until I started uploading. I actually learned some really cool things about Easter in refuting his I don't even know what to call it. I ended up having to stop the argument with him because he said that Christianity is not a religion, it is a reality. And here's the thing, you can't have a discussion or an argument or anything with a person who believes in another reality. You have to have a common set of facts and access to common logic. Otherwise, you're just going to bump heads. It's not going to work. Like, if we fundamentally believe in different aspects of the universe, like if you don't believe in gravity, I can't prove any point that hinges on the fact that gravity is a thing. If I can't get you to accept that gravity exists, we cannot have a productive argument that entails gravity. So I just gave up and gave him my best response before I could. And in that, I actually learned the answer to the original question. So Oestre, or Eostre, I'm still not sure how to pronounce it. I misspelled it in the first video, by the way. It's Eostre. Seems to be the tradition that Easter came from. It's basically spelled the same. It comes from the right time period. I don't actually know the official time that Easter was founded, but it was done by at least 325 BC, which is actually before the Bible was done or before the New Testament had finished being written. So it was a tradition that was going on while the Bible was being written, actually. So that's kind of interesting. But it probably started earlier than 325. 325 was just kind of the result of controversy over when the date of Easter should be. They didn't want to go by the Gregorian calendar. They thought it was, I don't know. They wanted to go by lunar cycles, like lunisolar cycles, actually. So that's why it's on the third week of the fourth month on a Sunday, if that makes any sense. I can provide links to that if you would like. Just ask for them. I got you. So another thing that I found out is that this has actually been verified in an 8th century book by a monk who I believe is from Germany, whose name is Bede, B-E-D-E. I don't know. But he was a monk in the area who noticed that in a book called The Relevance of Time, that over time, the German tradition of Oestre had been replaced by the Christian tradition of Easter, and that it had started borrowing some of the lore and the traditions in order to absorb it into and basically make the two holidays one. So Easter probably started without the whole like eggs and bunny thing, and then in Germany it absorbed this other holiday that was really similar, and then that spread, and now we have the tradition of the bunny and the eggs. I couldn't get a clear time at which the tradition started, but there is actually a symbolic reason within Christianity that did exist by the 300 AD around the Council of Nicaea that set the date of Easter, that says that the tradition at the time was to dye eggs red, not with blood. By the way, blood is actually a pretty bad dye. Like it's a bad red dye, at least. I mean, it turns brown because it oxidizes. Essentially, the iron within it rusts, and well, I mean, anything can oxidize, but that's part of it. So you wouldn't end up with red eggs if you dyed them with blood. So what they most likely did was just used what was available, probably something like beets. Those give a good deep red, probably wine, since that is also symbolic of the blood of Christ. That would actually make the most sense. I'm not sure how great wine would dye an egg, but whatever. I actually didn't see any sources that said specifically what it was that they dyed the eggs with. But again, that was probably very regional. You know, whatever you had that you dyed clothes red with in the area, that's what you used. Because that can vary from place to place. At least it could have back then. The egg is also supposed to represent the empty tomb from which Jesus emerged, in the way that a chicken, or a chick specifically, will emerge from an egg alive and reborn. I don't know. They always say that eggs are like rebirth. I've seen that both in the German tradition and in the Christian tradition, but I don't get the re part. Like, you get the birth part, yeah, but I don't know. I guess they think it's the original chicken reborn. Like, all chickens are just one chicken giving birth to itself. I don't know. Another thing that I learned during this whole discussion, yeah, I totally had something there. But those were the key points that I wanted to go over. Like, now there is actually, there is a book that I was able to locate from the 8th century that chronicles actually the process that I was talking about, where the Christian religion co-opted that tradition and made it into what is more currently, or was at least currently to the 7th century, 8th century, thought of as Easter. And I also found out that there is like a symbolic Christian reason that they use eggs, although they probably still borrowed the whole egg thing and then came up with their own reasoning for why there was an egg, I guess. I mean, unfortunately, it's not something that there's very clear evidence about, and that's why all these crazy Easter myths just keep popping up, because people don't know, so they just grasp at straws. But as far as I can tell from the research that I have been able to do this morning and through the evening, that's probably the best idea of where our Easter traditions come from. So, the more you know. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed learning what the actual origin of Easter is, and I hope that you'll stay tuned for more videos, because I like making them. You know, even if it's just random stuff, it's fun. I enjoy it. Best conversation I have all day. So, until next time, and please excuse me for the fact that I'm just not going to edit this. I'm going to straight upload it to YouTube as is. Pauses, awkwardness, no title card. Because I want to get it in. I want to get the link in the description of the video that I'm actually uploading right now. So I gotta expedite the process a little bit. But see you in the next one.